just had me thinking about all the Amazon drivers out there. I thought I'd throw in a little monster truck for y'all.
It happened to me. How was I supposed to know? Don't bother getting dressed. No need for more stress. I'm gonna get my things and go.
It's good, right?
Yeah. That was great. That's pause right there, right when you crack
Let me
it.
pause this. Hold on. How do I do this? There we go. There we go. There we go. Little monster truck to start off your day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Welcome,
We're
man.
doing it.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We had this discussion.
It's been a minute.
How you been? You catch me in the subscribers yet?
Yeah. Hit the 30K. You hit the 40K.
Congratulations, bro. You're gonna catch me in like a month.
I'm hoping for it. I'm coming for you. I hope you slow down.
I've been slowed down, man. Like the highest I was growing was, I feel like it was 4,500 one month, but I could be wrong. It was normally like 2,500 to like 3,000 a month. I'm down to like 820 right now.
Okay.
And it's been like that for a couple months, man. It's been slowing down.
Yeah, it'll pick back up.
Yeah.
It always does.
I've been like going through some shit, man. Like I did want to take a second and give a shout out and a rest in peace to a friend of mine, man. My first middle school friend had passed away like last week.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man. It was more like weird than anything, you know?
How'd they pass?
I don't know. Just went to bed and didn't wake up. 31 years old, man. Like,
at least it was peaceful though.
yeah, like,
You know what I mean?
it was a little bit of a trigger warning, but like it was an open casket, and he looked great. Like it was wild. Like I was just waiting for him to sit up and just like go about our regular life. You know what I mean? Like it was such a trip, man. So I did want to give a shout out to Alex and your whole family, man. The memorial was beautiful. It was great to see so many people there that I haven't seen in years and years and years and years. But it's kind of disappointing that it takes something like that to bring people together, you know?
But it always does.
Yep.
It's like the world's tragedies too. Same scenarios.
Yeah, for real.
It takes a tragedy to bring people together.
You know, it really made me realize like how much energy I was spending. Like I don't want to say like hating people, but like hating on people. And just like all that went away. I was like, man, that is so not worth it, you know? And like I was talking to my Patreon group, my Discord group, like I took a few days off of the YouTube thing. But like I'm so ready, man. Like I just like you'll be able to talk about this too, but it's such a cool opportunity, and to be like so like well accepted by the community, it's just like I feel inspired to pursue that again. Not that I didn't before. It's just like I was down for a few days, I was behind for a few days, but now I'm ready to go capture that again, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
nice,
I think I was just texting you that like a couple of weeks ago.
yeah,
I was like, dude, I'm burnt out.
yeah.
I'm burnt out. And then, you know, what keeps you going is the community.
Oh, for real.
sure.
Well, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know how open or like transparent you are with your community, but like, it's amazing. I'm always anxious to go tell them like, hey man, I just need like a day and then I'll be back. And they're always like, take 2. Like, what else do you need, right? Like,
Yeah, same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers to the community, man.
I mainly talk to, you know, the Patreon about that kind of stuff, but it's, you know, yeah, I try to be transparent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're there supporting you. Same with, you know, everyone on Discord, everyone on the, on just regular YouTube, you know, everyone's there for the same reason. That's what I love about it.
You know what? We were joking about subscribers to start this off, but a metric I've really been watching is average watch time of the video. And my reasoning is like, if people are watching more of the video, then that must mean that it's more entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So
Makes sense.
that's kind of been my pursuit. I've been trying to see like, you know, what's the difference between a video that people are watching 7 minutes versus 4 minutes? And is it like artist dependent? Is it how I am? Like what's going on, right?
Yeah, and kind of watch that back and look at how the analytics affect it.
Yeah, because you
And
know
then
they
maybe
give you
try
all
and
that.
mimic that.
Yeah. Or like if people like if I'm talking about some like real deep nerd stuff and nobody cares, then I might sum it up a little faster, you know. But it seems like people like when I'm like bursting into laughter and like can't believe what's going on and stuff. So I'm just like, hey man, Keep sending me those requests.
Well, dude, your energy just radiates, you know.
No, man, I appreciate that. Right back at you though. Like, to my aforementioned story, I'm excited to hang out with you tonight because it's gonna be good for my soul, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
being
for
here.
sure. Same.
So we're gonna
Same.
spend a little time kind of getting to know each other and letting our community get to know us a little bit tonight, I guess, eh?
Yes, sir.
So what do you want to start
Yes,
with?
sir. All right. So we got a couple topics here. We have inspirations, music inspirations. That could be bands, could be singers. How did you get involved in music? And same for me.
Okay.
Like what got us into music? Then we have, I noticed guitars. Obviously, you play guitar. You
Obviously.
sing. What is your instrument of choice? Your favorite instrument? Okay. And then let's just start with those for now.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right, you have at it.
Music inspirations, huh? So, when I was just getting into music, my parents are big like metalheads, not necessarily like screaming metal. That's something that I got into on my own. But this was more like Motley Crue, Black Sabbath, Dio,
Early metal.
early like 80s hair metal kind of vibe, Metallica, Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie kind of came later in my life, but I was still pretty young and I didn't play any instruments at that time. And so that was, that's kind of my introduction. And I guess that's what inspired me. Okay. And obviously once I got into playing the instrument, then inspirations change.
Of course.
You know, because now you want to play this kind of music or depending on the instrument that you choose, depends on who you follow the most. You know, what about you?
Well, hold on. I got questions. So like some of those names that you named are like some of the holy trinities of rock and roll. And, depending on the book you read or like the person's perspective, right? So how did that contribute to you wanting to be a musician? Because it hindered me from time to time, man. Like I wanted to sing like Def Leppard, but I couldn't. And I was like, I must not be a good singer, like,
right. It'll shut you down real quick.
Yeah. But then other times, like, you find a band and it clicks and you can almost like predict what they're doing or like you can kind of fall into the song and then it's like, it's inspirational again. Right.
Right.
So I'm curious about if that had any play with you.
I wouldn't say Black Sabbath did. I wouldn't say Dio. Well, something that we'll get into a little bit later, I want to talk about first concert too.
Okay, done.
Or first show that you worked on. So I'll give mine up right now. UFO was my first concert.
Okay.
We talked about this last time that we talked to Blue, but I'll get into more in depth later. But the UFO and seeing them up on stage at House of Blues, and I was front row, and that inspired me to want to play.
Oh, I bet.
I was like 12, 13 or so.
Front row too, eh?
Front row. Well, House of Blues, it's standing room only, so it's like,
yeah.
You get there early enough, you get your spot. But so UFO got me to want to play on stage. And then Motley Crue got me to love the music and the individual music instruments. The singing was sweet. The guitar player, there's one guitar player, there's one bass player, there's one drummer, and they make this wall of sound that's just enormous. Mm-hmm. And then they were just, balls to the wall, and they were all
playing
about
the
it.
Part and
oh yeah, dressed up like it and everything.
Yeah, Motley Crue was my first concert, my real concert I went to. I'd seen like at the local festival for the fair or whatever. I'd been to those, but like my first concert was Motley Crue, and I want to say it was like my middle school girlfriend, or I think I was like 13 or 14, so whatever that's worth. Her mom and stepdad took me, and we were like right beside Nikki Sixx's side of the stage. So like he would come out on the little stage extension, and he was like right there, right? And
that's sweet.
Yeah, man, it was like. A, it was like, I'm going to be a rock star one day. But B, man, sitting there with like your You're 13, you're hanging out with your chick's stepdad, and they whip out that titty camera.
Yeah.
And you're like, my eyes
Yeah.
are on the stage, bro. Like, it's good.
Right. So I went to Carnival Sins. I was
Same show,
like
same
that
show.
same type of age. So
Yeah.
it was like, this is awesome.
So funny. So did you get to see Tommy Lee playing drums then?
Oh yeah.
See,
Yeah.
he didn't play at our show. He had tendonitis. He couldn't play.
Yeah. Who played?
They actually, this is really cool. They hired a drummer from a local tribute band.
Oh, that's sweet.
So the band is from
That's
Red
sweet.
Deer, which is like 3 hours from where I live, and he got to do 3 or 4 nights with them. But like he knew all the songs, he knew all the parts.
Dude, what a dream come true.
Tell me about it, bro. Like that story probably inspired me more to play music than like seeing them on stage. You know what I mean? Because like I
You know
remember.
who does that a lot? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like I know how I am. Like something like that I would have missed. Like I would have told the story years later and be like, oh yeah, I saw the band, I saw the drummer, like it was cool. But like me remembering that, it must have been like monumental enough to actually like stick. And I'm sure that was one of the reasons. Like if you try hard enough, man, like you get your opportunity, kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What I was gonna say is, you know who does that a lot is Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
Dude, they bring up anybody
everybody.
and just, give them the dream.
And like it never looks like they're waiting for it to be over.
Mm-mm.
It always looks like they're genuinely like when that kid with like the face paint come up and played.
Yeah, the Kiss guy.
Yeah. What song did they play?
They played Monkey Wrench.
Monkey Wrench. That was it. Yeah. Unreal, man.
Yeah, that guy was having the time of his life.
All right. I got a couple.
All of them were.
I got a couple Foo Fightery news bits for you. All right.
Okay.
So they performed on SNL for the first time with the new drummer. Rest in peace to Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought her out. If you know who her is.
I don't.
Oh, bro, you got to start reacting to some her. Oh my God, she's like this R&B singer, but she plays like rock guitar like no other. Like she's like Lenny Kravitz almost.
Really?
Oh, bro, and she's
so she's
so
drumming for
good.
them?
No, she came out and played guitar with them actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so I didn't watch the clip yet. I want to react to it, but I just saw like the little thing of it. But Christopher Walken introduced them, and I guess he hasn't done that for the Foo Fighters since like 2003
Okay.
or 2002 maybe. Which man, I don't know if you're good at accents, but apparently he asked Dave Grohl where the accent of Foo Fighters was, and Dave told him it was on Fighters. So when he introduced them, he was like, the Foo Fighters. But anyway, long story long. So yeah, they brought her out and performed with her on SNL, and she's a rock star, man. The Foo Fighters are all rock stars. Their first performance with their new drummer, I believe. So shout out to them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude, that's amazing.
super cool.
So here's a fun fact. So my really close friends, Steve and Christina, they started like a cooking thing, and it's like food prep, and they kind of turned it into this business where they have pretty consistent people, a good amount of consistent people to help them, pay for the groceries and all this other stuff. And so they called it Food Fighters.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't
I love
creative?
that. So that's like kind of the HelloFresh thing, like where I'm busy, so I pay for my 5 meals a week, and you just bring them, and it's either cooked and I gotta reheat it, or I gotta quarter cook it or whatever.
Yeah, this is all pre-cooked, so they just heat it up in a microwave and good.
Oh man, I love that.
And it's just people that they normally go to work with. So they're already going there anyway. They're already cooking anyway. So they're just
Unreal.
doing it all. It's Food Fighters.
I love that. That is a genius name. I thought the Foo Fighters alone was a great name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on,
That's
I gotta
pretty
cough.
awesome.
Oh man, that got me good. I like that.
All right. So your inspirations.
My inspirations. So I had a friend in grade 5 who started playing guitar. And I went, oh, I want to do that. Like right out of the gates. And I'll tell you the song. It was Sum 41 with Carrie King when they did it was a track for one of the Spider-Man movies.
I'm not sure. I'm
Do you
trying to
remember
think
that
of
one?
the song.
Oh, I'm gonna pull it up here. 741 and Kerry King. He's the guitar player from Slayer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, Kerry King. Come on now, I got it here. Oh, it's not on Spotify. Anyway, they did a song, and a buddy of mine was kind of half playing along with it, and on his like new guitar or whatever, he had a Stratocaster, and I just went, yeah, man, I got to do that. And then I went home and I told my parents I wanted a guitar, and they were like, probably no chance. And then it was like from there, man, it went into AC/DC was a big one. I didn't get into like Def Leppard and more of the British stuff until I started like singing more. But anything that was like big chords, big guitar tones, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden was a big one. I really, really, really dug that.
Oh, Iron Maiden, yeah.
Yeah, Boston, bro. Just like things where like the guitar was speaking, like literally it would have sections for like melodies. Like it wasn't just guitar solos either. It was like riffs and stuff that like spoke to me, right?
Right. I mean, there's the obvious ones like Guns N' Roses too.
Oh yeah. Sweet Child of Mine did so much for me.
Mine was what's the big drums? Paradise City.
Yep.
There's
Ooh.
that song and like specifically, and then from Motley Crue, there's Show Go On or something like that. Oh, that's gonna bug
On
me.
with the show, baby, on with the show. Come on, baby.
It might be,
no.
but that's like filmed in a concert or like a big arena. Also,
Yeah, I think that's the one. Yeah,
I'm looking at it.
kind of like anthemic, right?
I don't know if that's it. Oh man, that's gonna bug me.
That's okay. Take your time. I used to. We used to play like. I don't know how like the tiering systems work in like different places, but like there was like our house league soccer team. There's like summer league, and then we had like tier 3, and then tier 2 was like the between the provinces and stuff. So we used to play tier 2 soccer, and when we would travel, I would listen to this live Motley Crue record, but I only liked Dr. Feelgood off of it, and it was so loud, man. Like there was no other like MP3 whatever I downloaded at the time that was as loud as that record, right? And yeah, it was cool, man. That was a really cool one. That was like my introduction to low tune guitars.
Yeah, low tune and that heavy thundering bass.
Yeah, and like it doesn't need to be fancy, just that open riff, you know?
Man. Yeah, it's just chugging.
Yep. Yeah, those are the big ones, man. Like those really wanted me to like play guitar, or made me want to play guitar. The Boston stuff, like when I described to my first guitar teacher the tone I was looking for, I was like, I literally told him, I was like, it felt like it's like calling to me. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. And it was the intro to Don't Look Back by Boston, which I think is just a perfect piece of art.
Yeah, a guitar set sang to me was like Eric Clapton.
Okay. See, I didn't appreciate music like that until later in my life.
Yeah, I was probably in my 20s
Oh, okay.
when I started listening to him and his band. My parents would always play him, but I was like, yeah. But when I got my guitar, and I can't play lead at all, I was strictly a rhythm person.
Yep.
I can play some lead parts like to harmonize, but like solos and stuff, no.
Yeah.
But Eric Clapton was him and Joe Satriani, Buckethead. They were some pretty fun guys to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And then now like Devin Townsend, he's a big one. Have you heard of him yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, he's got quite a voice too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Who does he play with?
He play well, it's the Devin Town the Devin Townsend Project.
Okay.
Townsend. Now I'm second guessing his last name. Anyways, it's his name project. He's got random guys in there. And obviously like they're big in the music industry now too. And he could have pulled them from other bands. I don't know. I'm not that into him, but his voice and his guitar playing is just, yeah,
just
It's pretty
special, eh?
awesome. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. He's unique.
Yeah, that was like, I don't know, because you're a singer too, like, right?
I guess.
I guess, yeah. I found that like I spent so much time trying to be like these other artists that I never spent time finding my own voice. If that makes sense, right? Because
Yeah.
like, and that, part of that was probably the music that I was trying to sing along with. Like, who can sing Motley Crue? Vince Neil can't even sing Motley Crue.
Yeah. At the time, he had a great voice.
Oh my god! Like, you know, top tier, that like 80s hair metal stuff. Like, we are listening to some Poison earlier too, man. Brett Michaels was a killer in his day, but it's like that. All that shit is hard to sing, and I was just happy enough to hit the notes, let alone have it in like a style or something, right? So
Yeah, have your own accent to it, or just have your own voice, like you said.
Yeah, so like, you know, that was a part that kind of I struggled with, and it probably is what got me into storytelling music, I guess. My dad's really into like old Western music, country music, stuff like with stories, right? Like truck driver stories and stuff like that. And that I could really like vibe on because I could spend time with my voice and try to make different parts of it kind of come out, because a lot of it was lower, a little bit slower, kind of ballady, right?
More of the baritone range, or even like baritone to tenor.
Yeah,
in that range.
A little bit of head voice, maybe, stuff like that, rather than like full on belting and stuff. So that kind of like changed my perspective of what I could actually do with my voice. But I didn't really spend a long time trying to find my voice until like my 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah. So my problem is that I can never find a singer for my band. So I think I talked to you this before. It was like, you know, you're trying out these guys, and then either they don't sing, they suck, just flat out suck, or they just don't. You know, they're like, yeah, I'll do it, and then they just don't care. And then, like, you know, they're off doing other things when you're supposed to be practicing.
Being a singer, yeah.
Yeah. So then it's kind of like, all right, well, if we can't find one, then I have to teach myself how to try to do this. So that's kind of how a lot of singers are born, I think, in these like rock bands. You know, singers like Angelina Jordan and Morissette and them, and you know, they grew up just strictly singing.
They're born to be a singer, right?
Yeah, maybe they have an acoustic guitar or piano or something that's a little different.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, man. Like, I'm sure that people like that would have been as successful in art no matter how they found it. But like, you can sure tell when someone finds like their thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's like watching Tiger Woods like play golf. Like, that's his thing, right? I don't know what's like clicking on my mouse here. It feels like something's like trying to click buttons.
I keep seeing a little thumbs up come up.
Yeah, I don't know why. Mouse or something dying or something. I don't know. But yeah, man. So musical influences, basically anything that was like big open chords, big drums was important to me. And I loved the vocalist, man. Like, the more it was shrieking and ripping my head off, the happier I was.
Mine was like the I don't know, man. Right when I started getting into like wanting to play guitar, it was really into like Rob Zombie, White Zombie, Alice Cooper, that kind of thing. And so it's I don't know. I was like in this dark phase. And so I naturally like grew to this hard rock metal kind of area. And I stayed there. For a long time.
Yeah. That's okay.
And then like my girlfriend in high school, her family was really into country, and I was like in the hard rock metal thing, and so I'd listen to it here and there, and she liked country too, but she also liked hard rock metal. So we would talk music sometimes, and then, you know, when we separated, like, country was no longer in my life. And then up until I was probably, I don't know, 19, and I was in like the band that I was in for a long time. That was like my permanent band. I started with them when I was 18. By 19, I think my favorite genre was country, even though I was like singing for this metal band. Like my favorite genre was country for the storytelling and the just good vibes.
I always like the country mix, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I always thought that a snare drum should lead a mix, and I like that in country.
Yeah,
kind of gives you this like push all the time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it leads you in the direction.
Yeah. And like, in rock it's kick drum and guitars, but in country it seems like it's always a snare drum, and I've just always vibed with that. I never understood.
And the cymbals aren't too loud, or the depending on who you're listening to, like Jason Aldean's pretty rockin' country. Brantley Gilbert's more rockin' country. Eric Church, same thing. So it's like I don't know how to say it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like I'm drawn more to the rock and country. But of course, you love the greats and all that. And, you got to respect it. I respect all music. Well, doesn't matter what it is.
Like, I think I'll speak for myself, but you can tell me how you feel about this. But like growing up listening to like hair metal, thrash, like all that, like call it like punk even, it kind of built this like attitude with music with me where it's like I like the chaos, I like to kick the doors down, I like to like burn it down to the ground. Like, so as long as you give me that kind of energy, which country does a lot of, then I'm kind of there for it, right? Like it's chaos and anarchy, and as long as it sounds kind of cool, I'm here for it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm vibe with it. So how did you yourself get involved into music? So you started becoming a musician, and then how did you like take the steps into being like a musician?
Okay, so going from the childhood here. So I was in 7th grade, and it's probably the same way a lot of people's get their first instrument, right? You had to have good grades. Good grades, no summer school, all that jazz. Yeah, still went to summer school, but I had decent grades, and my dad bought me my first Stratocaster.
Cool.
And it was the starter pack, the black with the white pickboard. And
the little amp.
Little Fender amp.
Little 15 watt or something.
And then he got me one pedal. I get to pick one pedal. And it was some kind of distortion pedal. I don't remember what it was. So, and then I started playing in that. And then, playing in my room, and my parents would be out they had like this above ground hot tub. So my window would be open a little bit or cracked a little bit because I like the cold air. And they'd be out in the hot tub, and they'd be listening to me play Enter Sandman. Awesome. But how I was playing it was. And they tell me nowadays, they're like, yeah, we'd be listening to you and be like, oh yeah, you almost got it. Nope, not
that time.
Not that time. But they'd like secretly like cheer me on. So that was cool.
I like that. Did they have like a good gauge of telling you if you were like succeeding or not with music?
They didn't really. I'd play a lot with headphones in. So they wouldn't hear it all the time. But majority of the time I'd just play with headphones in. So if they happen to open the door or something, they'd hear like the strings and the frets. You can still hear a guitar, electric guitar. They'd hear that, but they wouldn't know exactly what I was playing at that time.
Okay.
And then, so I'd do that. And then I'd say probably, I'll skip all the like the garage bands, but then I got to my first like serious audition to be inside like another band, which was freshman in high school. It was a band called Innocence of the Guilty.
Cool.
And
great band name.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Avenged Sevenfold type of band.
And what was your role?
I was going in there to sing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not even play guitar. Because they already had like a really good guitar player.
Shadow something?
Matt Shadows.
Yeah, that's the singer, right? Okay,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt, but yeah, go ahead.
No, you're good. So they already had um, 2 guitar players, and one of them was like really, really good. The other one was a good friend of mine that I would be in those garage bands with. So he kind of like brought me in. And of course, in those garage bands, I like offered to sing the covers or whatever. So he knew that I could sing a little bit. So I went in there that was like my first audition. And I guess they had like 5 different guys lined up. At least that's what they told me. And then they called me like the next day, I guess. And they're like, "Hey, you want to be in the band?" I was like, "Sure." They're all like older, except for my one guitar friend. So he was in the same grade as me, 9th grade. And then everyone else was like 11th and 12th grade. So seniors, juniors.
Cool.
And I was a freshman. We kind of did like the Queensryche thing. We had like 4 really good songs that, I mean, they were really good to us, that we just focused on. And that's what Queensryche did. They had 4 songs. They focused on those. They played those same 4 songs for 2 years. And then they played their first show. And they freaking blew up. So we played those same 4 songs for probably like 4 or 6 months. And then we ended up booking a show. And our first show was at the Roxy in Hollywood.
Wow.
My very first show was at the Roxy.
Unreal.
On Sunset Strip. Yeah.
Unreal.
That's how it went. And a week before that, I went on a cruise. And guess what I got? Being a singer. Strep throat.
Oh, no. Oh, no. And that like hurts, bro.
Yeah, it hurt.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't
like
enjoy the cruise. I had to drink hot tea the whole freaking cruise. I hate tea.
Oh, really?
I hate tea. You can ask my wife. I do not like tea. I like sweet tea. I like sweet tea, but I don't like raspberry tea, peach tea, no kind of sweetener tea. No.
I see. I always forget that that's the thing in the States because all our tea is loaded with sugar up here.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Yeah.
Same with the East Coast and South. That's they don't have non-sweet tea.
Yeah, we don't have non-sweet tea. Like you have to find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere here.
That's wild.
I can't stand it.
Yeah. I was really hungover once, I think in like Vegas or something like that. And I was like, I just want like an iced tea, man, like some lemon would be great. And grab it and it was unsweetened. But
you say iced tea and they give you an unsweetened one.
Oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. Like straight up. It's like, what is this poison you've handed me? There's normally like more sugar than in like a soda pop in this where I'm from.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. That's a great first gig. How did it go?
I was told that it went really well.
Oh, good.
We opened, it wasn't for it was just local bands. So no like big headliner or anything, but we played right before whoever was headlining.
Oh, that's cool.
And like that was our first show and first everything. We had like a little demo CD that we pushed out. I wish I still had it. That would have been cool to listen to.
I'm sure you can find one out there.
I don't know. I don't talk to any of those guys anymore.
Yeah, fair. My story is kind of similar. I was like, I'll paraphrase. So I went to a music school where I learned how to play guitar, and the school had drum teachers, vocal teachers, keyboard teachers, bass, like it had everything, right? So the owner of it was like, yo, I'm going to build a stage and we should put some bands together. Like we got all the parts. We could have like 10 bands right now. So he started booking us shows, man. We played like all the family stages. Like I'm like 13, 14 at this time, right? And I was not a great singer. I was definitely not a great singer, but it pushed me and it taught me how to learn to be a performer, which I argue is better than being a perfect musician all the time. You know what I mean? So fast forward to, I must have been graduated now, man, because we were playing. Yeah, I was a sound guy from when I was 16 to when I was 21 or 22 full time. And then I started playing in my main band. We were together for 4 years, but for the first 2 years, it was like pretty casual. You know, we'd like get together and jam and then maybe book like an opening slot or go to an open mic and try out a few new songs, like whatever. But it was always myself the same bass player and the same guitar player, we could never find drummers. And like one of our drummers, like great drummer, he ended up in the psych ward. I think he's doing pretty good now. So great drummer though, man. He just wanted to play lead drums all the time. Wanted to do like Avenged Sevenfold over a Joan Jett song. Like it was hilarious.
Of course, typical drummer.
Yeah, and then we played my dad's garage and had this big clock up on the wall, and he was so loud the clock literally fell and like cracked him in the head. And I remember the keyboard player being like so excited that finally something happened. But anyways, so we're like 18, 19. We're out like, or no, sorry, I keep jumping around here. I'm like 22, 23 now, and we're at this like club, like a dance club in town. And the bass player is running around like just swinging his dick around like, we're in a band. It's like, yeah, I haven't seen you motherfuckers in like 6-7 months, but sure, like whatever, we'll play the game, right? And then some chick's like, whoa, you guys are in a band? She's like, my friend's a drummer. And we're like, really? Like, can we meet them kind of thing? And we joked that it was the first time we got a number and took someone home from the bar. It was our drummer. So he shows up at my house, and now we're all sober. It's like a week or two later, and he shows up. He's the first one to show up. Middle of Canadian winter, okay? It's like 2 feet of snow on the ground. This kid shows up in a hoodie and basketball shorts. And that's how you know the drummer's for real, right?
Yeah.
And he's sitting there. We're waiting for the guitar player and the bass player to show up, who like more like they were communicating with him during this whole time. And then he was just coming over to my place for the jam. So we had the garage, and I had my sound system from my sound company and everything. So it's kind of spoiled. So he walks in. He just turned 18. He just moved here for college. And the first thing he says to me is, you want to see how fast I can chug a beer?
You're in.
Like, yeah, I kind of do.
I'll try to beat you.
Yeah. No, man, he was quick. Like, he was one of these kids that should be in like a video or like a TikTok or something. Slamming drinks. Like, it was crazy. But he was dope, man. That band was a lot of fun. We did like we did a whole bunch of covers for years and years and years. We played a lot of shows we shouldn't have played. We made more money than we kind of knew what to do with for a band that was doing what we were doing. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it went really well, man. We traveled everywhere. We got in with a band that was like, they're booked for like 2 years in advance kind of thing. So when they'd get a double booking, they would give one to us. And then like we just kick them like $100 or something. But that really filled us up. And then from that, we started booking like more and more slots, or like we'd open for like a bigger artist, and then we'd try to get like that booking agent to book us for a whole night and like all kinds of stuff, man. Like we were clever about it with the marketing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot
smart.
of fun. Yeah, we were busy, man. Like I learned more about being a musician at like during that time than I ever learned about it like during lessons or like learning, trying to teach, like any of it. Like nothing taught me more than like being in a dedicated group for like, 4 years, right? Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, same. Like the whole, especially like recording the album and editing it and learning how to do all that. Our drummer did a lot of it, but like I'd fiddle around with it a little bit, and I got enough to be dangerous, but it was just learning that was so fun. Right? And it lets you understand like different decibels and like the way, like the attack, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. Some people might not, but it's like the attack of the snare, the attack of the strings. It's like, it's pretty cool.
Well, it goes from like,
a lot.
It sounds like you're actually hitting something and getting punched in the face to like hitting a pillow where it's got like no real impact, and like subtle changes will do that, right?
Yeah.
And then like if you take that experience and you learn that, then you can put that in your performance now and be like, if I hit the mic this way, it's gonna come out a certain way because the compressor's there and like everything, right? Yeah. Professional experience, awesome. Bro. How was the recording process for your band? Like, did it serve your band or did it hinder anything?
I think it served it for sure. We're definitely a band that, what we recorded is how we sound live. I've always wanted that. I don't want to be like a studio band, but you can't play live. You're recording parts that you can't do live, or you're playing faster than you can live or whatever. If anything, you always play a little bit faster live, unless you're playing to a click track because you're on adrenaline, you're all excited and everything. But we're doing pretty good without the studio recording. What we ended up doing is I've always had Android, but a lot of the different guys had iPhones. And we found out that we can buy this little thing from Best Buy or Circuit City, Circuit City for like $20. And it was like a little microphone that plugged in the bottom of the phone. And it sounded really freaking good. Like it sounded great. It was like a condenser microphone, but you can hear the drums, the bass, both guitars independently, the vocals, the backup vocals,
Cool.
and we're inside, a room like this.
Yeah.
Drummers over there, 2 guitar players. So the amps are kind of all facing different directions, and it picked up everything.
That's so cool.
And that's how we recorded for a while until we got Pro Tools and Apple Logic and all that. And then actual microphones to do that. We did a vocal booth. That our drums were always actually on MIDI tracks.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Drums
he can
are so
play
hard to
everything
record.
that he did, but yeah, he just programmed them all.
Yeah. You get that though, like in a lot of, I get eaten alive for this a lot, but in a lot of modern production, they'll only have like 4 bars of the drummer playing, and then they'll just duplicate that over. Because like you don't want to go through and edit each hi-hat hit so it's on time, or each snare drum hit so it's on time, or so it's not on time enough that it feels real. Like you don't want to do that either, right? So they'll just get like one section of it good, just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Or
Right.
they'll let the drummer come up with like the sequence, like, okay, I'd play it like this and show you, and then someone maps it out for you from a MIDI. So it's usually like similar.
Yeah, like a professional studio recording drummer.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but like drums
Yeah,
are really
and,
hard, man. You need like a whole room dedicated just to your drum kit, let alone like you say the mic booth and guitar booth and.
Yeah. So our drummer would always record the whole thing live, right? And then he'd go in there and he'd be listening to it while he's inputting it, and then he'd listen to that, and then he'd listen to his track, do that. Because there's certain parts where you want to hit the hi-hat harder, right? Or you do like a roll on the hi-hat or something like that, and then it's do a triplet on the toms or something, but you want it to get intense and then lower. There's certain parts
Like
that you want to do that.
velocity, right?
Velocity, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thanks.
I got you. I just finished mixing an EP, man.
Yeah, then like panning stuff, and it's fun.
Making space for things, and yeah, I got you.
So you mentioned the way drums are recorded now. Like, what are your views on music in the future? Where do you see it going?
Music in general?
Well, like recording process, live process.
So I think that we're going to get back to how things used to be, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like I think
like live recordings.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to get back to. I think we're going to have virtuosos. I think you're going to start seeing like your Eddie Van Halens, like your Polyphias is an example. Like this is like they get millions and millions of views, and it's by people like stargazed by guitar playing, and the rest of it is dope too. Don't get me wrong, all that other stuff is crazy, but like it's people in awe of the guitar player, which we haven't seen, I would argue, in 20-25 years. You know what I mean? Like you might get a musician that comes out and is really good at guitar, and people go, oh shit, this person's really good at guitar, but you don't have people going and finding songs for the guitar anymore. And then you get bands like Polyphia, and you get these artists like Steve Vai bringing it back, and like there's a bunch of these names, and I think that we're gonna get back to that. And then from there,
So you have. Hold on,
Go
I
ahead,
want to mention a couple. So you have Ayuga's fans. She's from Indonesia. Strictly guitar, usually instrumental. Killer guitar player. She's young. She's. I think one of the videos I watched, she was definitely like 13 years old, but I think there's one that's younger too, and she's just shredding, and it's very melodic and all that. Another one, man, who was I going to say? So there's Marcin. I think he's from Mexico.
okay,
but he plays like fingerstyle, but he's very energetic, and he's swinging around the guitar and everything's recorded right there. And then you have a lip bata that's all fingerstyle. He's more the laid back kind of.
You've told me about this.
Mm-hmm. And then Love Bites.
I've
Have you heard Love Bites
I haven't
yet?
seen them yet, no, but I've heard and I've seen like you guys posting them. I
Man,
haven't listened yet because I know I'm gonna react. So.
Oh yeah, those have. It's like, okay. You mentioned Iron Maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Female Japanese metal, like Iron Maiden. 2 guitar players, both play lead. Crazy band.
I love
the
that.
singer, the drummer, the bass player, both. Oh man, they just got a new bass player too.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's going to be cool again. I think you're going to have to be really good to get really famous here soon.
I think they keep getting younger.
Yeah, sure. Bring it.
I really think that they're going to keep getting younger and younger and younger. And they're just going to be, the talents just, they're like a sponge. They're absorbing everything because of social media, because of all these resources that they have now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can learn so fast.
That's actually really interesting. And I kind of dig that though, because like if that's where these kids are getting to at whatever age, 13, 15, 16, if they stick to it, like I could just imagine what they're going to be doing when they're 30, 35, 40. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping that we're at a place where we can appreciate that.
Right.
Because like we will, like
Hopefully
anyone watching this, that we will, right? But en masse.
Right. I mean, you see all the TikTokers and all this other stuff. They're not listening to rock or metal or country or any of these other, genres that are so, I don't want to say not popular, but they're like laid back, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're back in the mix of,
they're not like attention grabbing,
hip hop, and yeah. That's where a lot of the younger people are listening to. Just kind of the nonsense music, or just music for music. There's no meaning behind it or anything like that.
We're going to sound really old in this part of the conversation, but that's okay. Really showing our age here now.
So, I mean, that's where I see it going too. I think they're getting younger. I think they're going to get way more talented faster.
But do you think that adds to like the shock value? So like if I want a TikTok to like catch me right now, having someone who's young and quote unquote like a freak, that catches my attention real quick. Rather than like another
just natural talent.
Yeah. Rather than just like another like sing along chorus, another video like driving down the street. Like, I don't know. Like it would take a lot for like say one of my like influential artists that I mentioned earlier. It would take a lot for them to catch me on a TikTok. If I'm being perfectly honest. If it wasn't like AC/DC puts out a new single and I see a TikTok of it, like it wouldn't catch my attention,
Right.
But something like one of them finger styles or something like that would stop me for a second, right?
Right. It's unique.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just natural talent.
It's powerful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's quick and it's powerful. Like you can get to that emotion real quick in a small segment of it. Right.
That's another thing. YouTube Shorts or Instagram, what are they called?
Reels.
I got you on Instagram. Those are like the short ones. Yeah. I don't have it. So
I got you.
So, you have your 30 seconds or 60 seconds to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's it. When we listen to music, when we started listening to music, you listen to the whole song, you listen to the whole album.
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen to their next album right after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you learn all the words and you know all the guitar parts and drum parts and all that.
Oh, yeah.
You focused more on it.
Yeah.
Now it's just like you listen to it for 30 seconds and then you're on to the next one. Listen to it and then on to the next one. That's what the shorts is kind of ruining things.
It's kind of scaring me, yeah. But I I support your thought that the super talent is going to get younger and younger. I agree with that. I think that this adds to my point that we're getting back to a virtuoso environment. Because like
Of
if you're
course.
not good enough to catch my attention in that quick scroll, then I'm not going to stop, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think it's coming back to a lot of live bands, finding talent the old fashioned way, just live.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Well,
I
and
think that's
the live thing's kind of cool now. Like people like to see the hardware in the background. And to be fair, the hardware kind of sounds really cool, right? But what we can do with it today is so much further than what it was back then when it was already the industry standard. Like if you watch those videos from like where the Beatles used to record their records, like the sound that comes out of those things now are unbelievable. And so like why not do it that way?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where I think between all that we just talked about, I think that's where music's going to go. I do think that the short attention span is going to be a thing to battle with for a long time, though.
For sure.
Sure.
It's
you go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
Okay. I think that rappers have a good opportunity in that. Because if I'm clever and if I can write like a 2-bar punch, there's your TikTok video.
Yeah.
Like all I need is 10 quick words that's clever enough for you to go, oh shit, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And you might go check out my song, right?
That's a good point. Good point. It's like a rock band just posting the chorus, or the build up to the chorus, and then maybe a breakdown or whatever.
For sure, a breakdown would catch my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it's exciting, man.
Yeah.
I do think it's exciting.
It's been fun. Yeah.
Where do you see your future in music going?
My future, is that one of your barn cats?
That's one of my regular cats.
My future in music. So I truly believe, I think Alex Hefner, is that his name? Alex Hefner, the YouTuber?
Maybe.
He's a reactor. I found him doing skillet reactions. That's how I found him. Alex Hefner, I want to say. He did a thing with, I think, Tank the Tech about music reactors being like the new journalist.
Mm.
Know what I mean? Journalists are kind of going bye-bye, and now artists are relying on reactors to get their music out there and help promote them or give them their honest opinion. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where it's going. I 100% agree with him on that.
So you think that like you're going to be able to support upcoming artists in there, and like that's kind of what you want to do with your channel?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
From like an educated perspective.
Obviously, yeah. And then finding just new artists in general. They could be new to me, and I enjoy that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about really 90% of the artists that are on my channel until I started it, obviously. There's the few that I didn't know of, or there's been many that I've heard the name, but I'd never listened to them or never give them the time of day, until this channel.
Well, and when's the last time you sat down and focused on listening to like 500 songs in 8 months?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I think that your perspective is probably changed when it comes to like what you're looking for in music, or maybe not what you're not looking for, but what you think might work. You know what I mean? Like you probably have a much more educated response kind of for that, right?
Right. What grabs your attention? What doesn't?
Yeah.
Do you get bored halfway through the song? It's kind of things like that. Yeah.
And you got to be.
What about you?
Of future of my music, or my future in music? Immediately, I want to do an EP. If I'm being perfectly honest, I had a lot of fun writing, and I want to get better at it. So I want to do a project with all my friends, all my YouTube friends. Like say like write a song and toss it to you, and you put your vocals on it, like that kind of a thing. So I want to do that.
We hinted at that a little bit before.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I really want to get into writing, but like I don't know how much I want to write. I definitely want to perform though. Like I was thinking about maybe doing like the Fiverr thing and hiring myself out as a singer a little bit. Just to push myself to get into it a little more and like pay attention to it a little more, right?
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about throwing together a little music project, but like it would have to be something that I'm in control of. And I don't want to sound douchey in that. It's just like if I'm going to go do a performance, I kind of have my way that I want it to go. And I don't really want to go just perform to perform. I've done lots of that. Like if I'm going to do it, it's going to be like I'm going to live stream it and it's going to be songs that like I think are important or what I want to do for the event. Like it's going to be a thing.
That's the cool thing now. Like you have this platform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like I don't need a bar to ask me, or I don't need a bag of bar to let me come play. I could just prop up some cameras and put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me seems like way more fun because like I was thinking about, I'll tell you all here. I was thinking about taking a little like dance lessons or something. You learn how to move around a little smooth, you know? And I thought that might be a little fun, like for a little surprise for the audience once in a while, right?
Yeah, I think that would be fun.
Yeah. Why not? So I don't know. I do want to get into some form of performing or even if it's like studio stuff. I want to get into being a musician again for sure. Support that with the reaction channel.
I was thinking about this the other day. You know, eventually I've sold all my guitars. I still have my really expensive Shure mic. Shure
yeah.
mic. It was a wireless mic and everything. So I still have that. I still have like a wireless pack for one of the guitars. But I don't have a guitar anymore. So eventually I want to get a guitar and then maybe just, you know, sit on the stairs or in a corner somewhere and just play and just let my son kind of hear it. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully one day he'll be like, you know what, let me play, you know? Mm-hmm. I don't want to like force it on him, but I want to give him the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least like make it available, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is something that I think is an interesting conversation, going to like parents and music and stuff. So my family was extremely supportive when it came to like stuff. Like when they heard that like Gibson was the guitar company, they got me a Gibson guitar. And I was like I was not in a place where I should have done that. And they weren't either, man. Like it was family had sent over Christmas money and they all put it together and they got me like the cheapest one they could find that said Gibson on it. But it was a great guitar. And then we got thrown in these groups like I was telling you about, like these bands at this school I was at, and we all had half stacks. So my family bought me a half stack. It was a cheap one, but like they were very supportive. But what they didn't help me with, and this isn't a dig at my folks, but what they didn't help me with was like a gauge of like you're doing good or you're progressing or maybe you should work on this more. Like I never got that. It was always, is everything good? Yes. Okay. Have fun. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so supportive.
Yeah, it was this. I found I had this discussion on Reddit. I wouldn't change anything because like the belief that I had in myself and instilled in myself was really high, and like it built a lot of confidence in me. But I would have also appreciated someone to take interest in like what it was I was learning or how I was learning it, or like try to learn with me. Like there's a few things. Grass is always greener. There's a few things that like, you know, might have kept me more responsible or more attentive to it maybe, instead of having the big guitar amp, because I could have done headphones. Like, you know, there's always the other side, right?
You can still plug in headphones to half stack.
Yeah, but then my neighbors couldn't hear it, and the cops would never come if you had headphones plugged in.
The natural vibration of the walls wouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly. That was bad, bro. I saw a video of me playing Sweet Child of Mine. Almost couldn't recognize it. Almost couldn't recognize it. I was like, fuck.
That's cool, man. It's very interesting, though.
It's a different world, man.
Yeah.
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 My dad worked up north, like in the oil rigs. So he was gone for like 4, 5, 6 months at a time. And I'm sure we could have a whole discussion on how that went. But my dad and I have a great relationship. And I think a part of it was him trying to like make sure that we felt like we had everything we needed. So then when he was gone, he didn't have to feel bad about it or anything.
Yeah.
Which is like cool.
When he gets back, you can show him everything that you learned, right?
Exactly. That was always a ton of fun. So
yeah.
I had a friend come up to me and say, and if y'all have made it this far, y'all know where I'm coming from. And he said, I don't know, man. He says, podcasting with you is fun. He goes, but it feels like you're just trying to chase fame. And I went, I don't know. I said, I don't really want that. I said, I feel good. Like, I started thinking about this. It took me a day or two. It feels good for my body to sit here and talk and be a part of something and communicate and share. And I found in other times in my life when I've done that, it's been good. It's had positive returns. So I don't see why I would fight that. It's not so much about fame or celebrity. It's that like I grow when I have conversations like this. And it seems like people around me, not from me, but like when we have these kinds of conversations, they open up and they grow and stuff. So I was just like, why would I shy away from that?
Right. It's one-on-one conversation, and it's so healthy to do that.
Yeah, and it forces me to sharpen my pencil a little bit. Like I'm trying not to use filler words as I am right now. Like I'm trying not to say man a whole bunch. Like there's a bunch of things that I'm trying to consider that I value. It's not me censoring myself. It's me trying to be a better me.
Right.
And
I mean, that's why you see me like do those long pauses, because I don't want to say what's wrong or say something that isn't right. I want it to be truth, and yeah.
And it's not about like, the numbers tell me that people are on my side, or like people agree with me, people vibe with the like that. It's like it's an affirmation you're going in the right direction. But like I don't know, man. I've been making the videos. I've made lots of videos that people don't watch. Like it's not about fame or celebrity or something. That stuff's fun and cool, but it's about, I don't know. It's like back to the community, or like there's more to it. There's way more to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a whole lot to it.
Yeah. So I'm curious about like if you've had that conversation with anyone, what your views are on that.
I mean, going back to what you said, like, the views on this, we'll know if people want more. Obviously, the comments, we'll know if people want more podcasts. We're going to do them anyway. But at least we'll know, we're being backed by the community. And that's the best feeling in the world. That right there, like as a channel and your community's behind you, that's freaking awesome.
Well, and it's, it's kind of cool when like I don't know, man, my videos mostly depend on artists, but they'll do like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views, right? And I'll do the odd video that does like 90 or like 150, but then you get one comment on it, and it's like, I've never heard someone break this part down, or I've never heard someone do this part of that video, and it's like, thank you for that. And I'm like, thank you for that. Like,
yeah,
that's all it takes sometimes,
awesome.
right?
Yeah. You have the normal comments, you know what I'm talking about, and then you get that one, and it's usually one every couple of videos, or even one a month, even, or 2 months. It's just you get that one, and it's like, that's awesome.
Do you think that's why?
Just amazing.
Do you think that's why the bad comment stands out? Because it's like you just get that one where they get under your skin a little bit, and it's just like, oh, you motherfucker.
Well, the whole community is positive, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's coming here for the same reason. You're here to see the band, and because you pause too much, or you talk too much, or just, I get, you're whispering. Why are you whispering?
Some of y'all don't have kids, and it shows.
My kid is right here.
Yeah,
right there.
So I can't remember what someone said, but
I get that one a lot.
I wanted to respond with like, some of y'all grew up with friends without ADHD, and it shows. Like, my bad. I talk a little fast and it's a little chaotic, but
I don't think it's fast or chaotic.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy.
I think it's gotten
really
better.
Cool.
I think over time it's gotten better.
No, it's crazy cool.
Well,
I dig it.
No, I appreciate it, man.
It's the right speed, right energy.
But
you have a whole lot more energy than me, dude.
You know what's funny is I felt really low energy, and that's why I wanted to come in here swinging with that monster truck, because I was like, I need something to like yell about, Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I appreciate this. It's been lots of fun.
Yeah, it's been a great time.
Yeah,
I always have fun talking to you.
Always, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I would sit here and not even record it. It's just like we both are in a place where recording it feels valuable, and giving it up to the world feels valuable. So like, it's not about some sort of name that would come with having a podcast. It's like, I just want to hang out and chill, talk to my friend,
Right. I mean, to everyone watching, we've done this multiple times for this same amount of time and just chatted.
Yeah.
The only difference is today we hit record.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page for that one.
Yeah, man.
Okay, it was great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Go check out BEL. Do you like BEL or BEL?
Whichever, bro. Whichever's good.
How do you say it?
I don't.
Jess.
Yeah.
Jesse.
No, I say BEL. Because
BEL. Okay.
in Canada, we have a telecommunications company called BEL, BELL. So I try to separate from that. I just BEL. But when people say BEL, like I respond. It's like when people say Jess or Jesse, like it is what it is.
Yeah, we used to have like a BEL Pacific. They're a phone company, right? But they got bought out by AT&T and then all that jazz.
I gotcha. See, you know.
Yep.
Go check out Cheesy. We'll have all the links and everything in the description box. I'll try to get all the ones of all the names that we shouted out and everything too. Yeah, man. Until the next one.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Peace.